All right. Double check that it actually worked. I always do that. So, um, let's see. Oh yeah, we're live, baby.
Yes,
All
sir.
right,
Okay.
cool. All right, everybody. So people are piling in. These live streams usually go pretty good. I think it's a better format than Spaces. We got the team, the co-founders actually of Formation and Sage that just launched today. Sir Yield and Cryptonomicon. How are you guys? What's the 101 right now? What's going on? Where are you guys' heads at? Tell us a little bit about how the launch today went.
We're excited. I mean, we think it went really, really, really well. Obviously, like the pre-sale just absolutely crushed. We had tons of participants, tons of points pledged. We almost 300,000 virtuals pledged. I mean, it was gangbuster. We sold out in under 2 hours.
Yeah, it
So
was huge.
hit the max 100K. So people were over pledging, over subscribing. And obviously we got a little bit of a, bump in price at the beginning, but
Yeah.
sort of expected that day one, you're going to get some people that try to take profits in it for the short term. Like,
oh yeah,
both of us have built businesses before. We're both very, very long-term oriented. I've been building the code base for Formation for over 2 years. There's over 500,000 lines of code in it. So this is something that we're deeply committed to. And then we have a little bit of internal insight because we get to see the development, but we think that Sage the product itself is going to absolutely crush and is going to reach far beyond crypto. We'll get into that, I'm sure, but that's just kind of where I'm at. I thought it went really, really well. We had a little bit of a stumble on a Twitter space earlier today, but that's more of a Twitter thing than a Sage thing. So
yeah, it happens all the time, actually. So yeah, it was a great launch. For those of you that are tuning in, you might not even know much about virtuals or AI agents. Why don't you guys tell us a little bit about what Sage even is?
Yeah, so Sage is a end-to-end interactive, customized learning experience. It's an educational agent. It's made up of a team of agents. Actually, it's not just a single agent. We have a team of 7 specialized agents that coordinate and work together in order to deliver personalized, customized, adaptable, and interactive educational content. Our tagline is "Learn Anything." And that's really what it's all about, is it's empowering people to learn at their own pace, with their own style, content that they want to learn. And then beyond that, empowering educational content creators to build courses that can then be extended, expanded upon, adapted to different users, and to monetize those. So, the full vision of Sage is really to disrupt the $580 billion online education market. It's a massive market, and the way that it is today is sort of very outdated and very stale. It's very much one size fits all. Typically, by the time you find a course, the content's already outdated, and it's the perfect industry for an AI agent to disrupt.
Absolutely. I've talked to Sir Yield over here a little bit about that too. How the way we do education is just kind of like a relic of a bygone era already, and it's just primed for somebody to come in and disrupt the whole system. So, if you're trying to be like the next Khan Academy on YouTube or something like that, you guys' platform could be like an excellent distribution mechanism for those types of videos. Is that
well, and not just the videos, but the content itself. I mean, different people learn differently. I personally am very much a reader. I like to learn by reading. I never did well in the classroom setting. It was boring to me. I was usually pretty far ahead in the textbook by the time we got there, and was interested in learning about things I cared about, not really just kind of whatever was being taught. I think there are a lot of people that way. There's other people who really kind of need that. They need the video and audio. They need the diagrams. They need the explanations on a board. And then other people, learn through repetition and practice and doing it over and over again. And so you're absolutely right. Education is a relic of a bygone era, and it really is a relic of an era where you needed factory workers. I don't want to get into like
Right.
conspiracies around public school and stuff, but you know, the word school is German. It comes from the German word Schule, and basically what it was to create assembly line workers, and everybody needs to fall in line. They need to do the same thing. They need to follow the same pace. And we're way past that, at least in the Western world, but I think globally. And so, you know, we need to. That's not to say that school's going away,
right?
But it does need to be supplemented. And I think, you know, as you'll kind of learn about both Sir Yield and myself, we're both parents. Sir Yield has kids that are a little bit older than my daughter, but you know, we're actively thinking about how we want to educate our kids, and we want to know that the current school system is not ideal.
100% agree. You know, as somebody who's got kids myself, you know, I've noticed, I'm like, man, like the amount of access that AI to information that AI has put at our fingertips. I mean, the internet alone was massive, right? You don't have to go to a library and like rent a fucking book anymore. Now AI, you don't even have to like manually search stuff on the internet. Like I taught my daughter on my tablet, like I'm like, I know you can't really like type this out, but if you press this little button right here and it'll recognize your voice and you could ask it a question and then it'll just like spit out like a probably pretty correct answer to your question. She's like fascinated by that. You know, it's like we don't even need teachers.
And on the flip side, like very recently, I have a buddy who's, you know, in his early 60s who just a couple of weeks ago learned about ChatGPT. And it's like, oh my God, like where was this my whole life? Like I can do everything with it. I can, you know, he's in real estate and he's like using it to craft emails and using it to like, there's just so many things that it opens up. But, you know, education is one of those things that it's tried to be standardized over and over again. And it just doesn't really work that way. People learn at different paces and different like even the same individual, they may comprehend math really easily and pick it up really easily. But when you're talking about certain, you know, language, or you're talking about, you know, legal concepts or social sciences or whatever, maybe it's a little bit more difficult for them to grasp.
Right.
So even the same person for different subjects needs their own customized experience.
Right.
So, it's almost impossible to do without AI.
Right. It's even interesting on the learning side of when you really start looking into it. Like whenever you go through school or something like that, you're really doing something and you're told if you're right or wrong, right? Even if there's a teacher in a class, if there's a parent helping their student with their kids with homework, or in a schoolroom taking, you know, like you're kind of being with this, nobody tells you if you're right or wrong. And if you're someone else watching someone else, a child, even though this is right now designed for over 13 for now. But you know, anybody watching anybody else, you're not supposed to correct people. You're supposed to make mistakes. You're supposed to let it understand exactly where you are at all times.
Absolutely.
And it's a really interesting, different way of learning and creating learning modules by allowing yourself to make mistakes, not someone telling you, and then to improve where you need to improve on. And, you know, it's one of our developers, like Hath, who works on this all day, like explains it to me, like, you know, it's like putting like a saddle on a Tyrannosaurus Rex. You know what I mean? Like wrapping an LLM is like really, we're taking on a really interesting challenge. It's only capable to do because of now the tools that we have, you know, these amazing models that we're able to work with.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I think that's what people are really going to see once they really see what Sage develops into. That it's really a different way of learning. It's really interesting.
You know, people learn in so many different ways, you know, even just like what Andrew was saying, like the math concept, like some people learn by like shapes on a page, like, you know, AI just allows you to like cycle through so many different like ways until you could see like, oh, this is the method that clicks with my kid, you know? And like now all of a sudden I was able to find that, like the schools, a human teacher can't do that. given these materials and they're like, this is how you teach them. Like, how many
Even if they
geniuses-
want, so like my mother was a public school educator for 40
Right.
years, and you know, she's got 30 students in a class. And none of those kids are learning at the same pace. So you're necessarily teaching to the slowest student in the class. You
Bogs
just
it
because
down.
they have to keep
Yeah.
up. And so it just, even if you wanted to, even if you're a teacher that wanted to teach individually to individual, like, it's just impossible in the current system.
It's really, it's almost like they think they've used technology. They put like touch screens in the classrooms. It's like, you guys are not really, you know,
It doesn't move the needle.
it does.
Yeah.
It really doesn't. Yeah.
And the thing is, it's like, it's a massive industry, like online education. You know, Wes and I have both taken online courses just because we're
Right.
interested in improving ourselves, interested in learning about
Right.
certain subjects, and wherever we can get better. The way that it works online is basically like, I go on and I record a video with the PowerPoint presentation, and I do 40 hours of it, and then I post that to, you know, Udemy or Coursera or, you know, EDX or YouTube or wherever. And by the time somebody finds it a year later, like, the content is irrelevant. The world moves so fast. So, and school is even worse. Like, the textbooks that you're reading in school that the teacher's teaching out of, they're often 3 or 4 years old.
Right. So how are you guys planning on like using the AI to like update the subject matter?
So it's not necessarily the AI updates the subject matter. It's that the really, really interesting part that people see, Sage, and this, just to let you guys know, we have one exciting thing to announce is that right now we're in beta. We have some, like a handful of users, but we're going to be going open to the public this Saturday.
Okay.
Little alpha.
Saturday. Wow.
This Saturday, 9 p.m. And you'll be able to start earning right away.
Okay. Wow. There's a low float too, so
there's a lot of tokens. The virtuals gave us a lot of tokens for a reason, right? Because they want us to do something with it.
Yeah, the earnings might be.
I'd say as we go live, we will predominantly be rewarding creators, course creators that other people find value in. That's really where the vast majority of the rewards are going to be. Okay. And that's where we really excites us most about this. Like, we think there's some people that don't view themselves as teachers that might end up really being able to put together some interesting courses and finding a passion from home or whatever it may be. Putting together some interesting courses, doing some interesting things. And obviously we want to attract the most talented Udemy instructors and other instructors, right? We want to bring everybody in, but just for the community right now, for the initial people that we really want to support and come in, it's really course creators. And that part, what will go live on Saturday is you create any course you want. You have your dashboard, you can go back, you go in all of them. And then about a week later is when the creator economy goes live.
Nice.
You'll be able to start monetizing it. People will be able to fork off of it. And
that's awesome.
And how it works, obviously, like, think about it, it's live. So anytime somebody uses somebody else's course, a modification occurs, and they share on, and if they improve it, they share on some of the revenue that comes back through. The majority obviously goes to the initial creator of the course, but anyone who shares, touches it, and improves it, gets to share.
Interesting. So what type of courses are you guys hoping to attract to the platform at first? Like, if there's somebody out there that,
I think when we play around with it, I try to play around with it. Obviously, like, I think that with this being said, like, it will continue to improve in time. We're really trying to do a big idea here right now. We really are. And the things that we're not talking about that we have coming next, we have a team of 6 developers, really, really, really talented developers. We're backed by Jump Trading, Republic, Big Brain. Like, what we're trying to accomplish is really, really exciting. But, we want to come out right now and just get it live, get our initial users on it, and
and get feedback. I mean, like it's really important on a product that you don't want to over anticipate what you think the user is going to want. You want to start with like the core part of the concept, which is what Wes just kind of described here, which is, this creator economy built around educational content creators and the ability to learn anything powered by a team of AI agents.
Right.
But beyond that, like,
to your question, sorry, to your question, I think with that being said, right, I think we have a lot of intention to do a lot. When I start to make courses myself, I start to think about where I think we really should be starting. Right. So I ask it to do courses to teach me how to be an accountant. Right. I have courses that, what I mean? Like I teach, I want to like understand different, there's some really interesting, like if I want to get good at law, right? If I want to, whatever it may be, right? If I want to become a director, whatever it may be, like anything that like, I think people, if they really challenge themselves to really become creators on this thing, I think they'll really understand that, look, we can't do everything on day one. All the core functionality is there. And and Drew should go into some of like the models that like what the real infrastructure that Formation Cloud, the parent company, has really put behind it. And I think that like some people are going to come onto the platform right away and probably FUD a little bit because they'll be like, it doesn't do like everything yet.
Right. Well, you don't want to over dev it, and then find out that your users are like really have something in demand.
Some of our users are going to come on and they're really going to get it. They're really going to like get what is coming down the pipes and what just went live. And how much value there could be on
absolutely
in this eco. And I think there's going to be some people that really see what.
There will. I know you guys have put a lot of thought into this. Like Drew said, you guys have been building this for 2 years. I mean, obviously you've got some big investors behind you too, so they see the potential as well. Tell us a little bit about some of that tech and the stack behind this platform and all that.
Yeah, so Formation is really a very, very interesting product. So it was originally being built as a decentralized compute platform. And then late last year when DeepSeek released R1, it was really kind of a paradigm shifting moment because it was the first truly open source model that competed on basically every single benchmark with the closed source models and outperformed a lot of them at the time. Obviously, they're constantly, releasing new models and improving. But since then, you also then had Quinn come out with a model. It was a distilled model that outcompeted a lot of the closed source models. Kimi just recently released their K2 model, which is outperforming. The Llama models, on the benchmarks were like not really that performant compared to closed source models. But if you've actually interacted with them and used them, they're fantastic. Like they're really, really high quality. And one of the things I love about the new Llama models, the Llama 4 models, is that they're not like sycophantish the way that like a lot of the GPT models have been, the way that like kind of Grok can get sometimes, where
they're not like trying to brainwash people as much.
Well, it's not. It's like there's like almost like this like built-in desire to like confirm your biases,
right?
A lot of LLMs. So like, it's just constantly telling you that you're right. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Interesting.
And the new Llama models are actually not like that at all. They're actually very, very direct and focused on delivering quality content. So you saw this explosion of open source LLMs. Right. And so we had a lot of infrastructure because we were building like this very, very advanced decentralized compute protocol. We had a lot of the functionality for coordination of machines. We had the ability for auto redundancy, automatic backing up of given programs on different machines in different regions, the ability to deploy and add nodes to the network very, very quickly and easily. And so what we decided to do was kind of pivot what we were doing at the time of this like decentralized compute, where any data center could contribute their generic compute to the platform and really focus on being a vertically integrated AI layer. And so what does that mean? We own our own GPUs, this is very important, and we'll come back to this point, but we own our own GPUs. We have our own fleet of GPUs. We host only open source models on those GPUs. Those models are sharded across multiple GPU. They're sharded across multiple
Right.
GPU clusters, which enables efficiency, rapid load balancing. We don't really run into a lot of the issues that you'll see, at scale that a lot of the other providers have,
Right.
where they have 64 H100 cluster that they've just overloaded with their own model. We spread it out and we keep capacity available in order to make sure that we can service the needs of our customers. And those GPUs and those models are dedicated to the Formation agent marketplace, which Sage is the first agent that was where what we developed initially for. Then we ended up partnering with Virtuals. Virtuals was very excited about what we were building, and we thought, it's the relationship with Virtuals is very much collaborative, and they're doing something we don't really see ourselves ever doing. We're doing something that they don't really see themselves ever doing. So it kind of just worked out really, really well. And so this infrastructure that has been built underneath is designed to power agents. And what does that mean? Agents are very different from humans when they interact with an LLM. So for a number of reasons, when you go to ChatGPT, you go to the chat interface, you type in a question, you wait for a response, you follow up, maybe you stop it and edit it, but you follow up. You may have 2-3 requests over the course of 20 minutes, 15 minutes, maybe a little bit shorter, but it's not that much. An agent may make 50 requests in a minute.
Damn.
And each of those requests is going to come with a very large amount of instructions. It's going to come with previous context. It's going to come with knowledge. It's going to come with tool calls. All of these things. It's very, very, very different than a human.
It's a lot of demand on the.
It's a lot of inference requests, and it's a lot of inference demand. And so, what we kind of saw was that as this agentic world evolves, you really need a optimized layer that's built for agents, for agent inference. And the other thing that we saw is that, like, from an economics perspective, this is not to like FUD Cursor or Windsurf or any of these companies. Like, they're great companies and they're doing they have a lot of ARR. They've been very successful thus far, but they're hemorrhaging money. Their inference costs are so high because they're using these closed source models, and they're subsidizing the training cost of future closed source models and the previous closed source models. By using open source models, we don't have any of the training costs. So we're able to charge a lot less for our inference. So when people are building agents and using our models, their agents are automatically more economical than they would be if they were using closed source models. And so that was kind of what we saw and where we moved Formation to. We spent about 7 months updating the protocol to get it ready for that. That's been live and running in sort of our internal test net for about 2 months now. Sage is kind of the coming to market moment. And we expect probably within the next 90 days, the Formation marketplace will open up. But right now, we're really, really dedicated to getting Sage right. We think Sage can be a massive business in and of itself. We think at scale, this can be a tens of millions, potentially 100 million plus ARR business in and of itself, given the size of the market and demand for online education.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, you guys, the tech that you guys developed under Formation, that's got to give you like a massive competitive advantage over a lot of these other, places where people are, getting their compute from.
Yeah, I mean, it gives us a competitive advantage. I think we have a much bigger, our goal of what we're coming down the pipes with Formation is much bigger than cheap compute. It's really agentic deployment, hosting, models, fine tuning, a lot of things really sharply structured around the agentic market. And we have a lot to get into in Formation, and we'll get into, there's something, obviously we've been building that for years, and this is we're coming to market. We will really go in, and there'll be a lot of things we'll come on in the future that we'll go over. But right now, we just are so laser focused on Sage. Like, we don't even want people to like think about what's coming down the pipes, even though there will be a very strong tie-in to specifically the Sage token and Formation coming in the future. So we just want to, for right now, just want to 100% focus on Sage. That we think Sage can be one of those, like, real real, just like generational businesses. If we could do this,
Absolutely. I mean, it's got a
online.
massive
Look,
massive
I'll
amount
say-
of people that would use it.
Yeah, and look, I'll say like crypto. I've been in crypto for a long time. I started mining in 2013. I sold my first piece of like DeFi analytics software in 2021. I built another really successful both me and Drew have had really successful careers. Drew is an absolute lifetime beast of machine learning and AI developer as well. I'm super lucky to be working with him. I used to run like a tech agency. I can write code, but Drew, I am so lucky to be working. He is the best developer I know. And anyone listening on this team, like we have a real cracked dev team. Like very,
That is very true.
That's what I like to hear.
I'm turning a little bit red and blushing a little bit. I don't
but
take
with that being said, again, just like we want to focus on Sage. Like
yes,
formation is coming. And there's going to be some really cool things we'll talk about in the future.
Sage is what's going to bring.
What we want to focus on. We think we're going to do this right. We think this creator economy that we are going to build. And look, crypto has its issues, right? What I was going to say, like it has its issues. It's a bunch of garbage. But you know what? Crypto is good for capital formation and attention.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if we could use that capital formation to put the attention around incentivizing creators to really come in and want to work with us and really actually monetize creators and educators and people that are doing different things, working with our community, that's really, really where we want to focus this on.
It's extremely powerful. I'd say that's a third thing that crypto is kind of good at. It's just an extension of that, like bootstrapping network effects.
Right. Right. They think you could go to 5 to 10, as Andrew's saying, but to go to that 0 to 1.
Right.
And what Virtuals does provide, what we were able to kind of, what we had already built, come live with market, we are super excited. But sorry to interrupt you, Drew.
I just think like network effects are one of the few. This is one of the conversations Wes and I had, when we made the pivot initially. Is like AI kind of kills a lot of moats. Like there's not very many moats anymore. Like if you're just a regular old software company, software as a service, like you don't have a moat anymore. It's so easy to replicate a UI. How many, AI, coding companies are there now? There's so many. You got Lovable and Cursor and all that. And like everybody's a coder now. Like everybody can build an app now. It's like there's just not a lot of moats anymore. One of the things that does provide a really strong moat is network effects and two-sided marketplaces, which is effectively what Sage will eventually become. As we roll out this creator economy, you have creators and you have consumers. It enables the ability for a business that has extremely strong network effects. And the more creators we have, and the more quality creators we have, and the more people are expanding upon what they've created, the stronger the network effect becomes. And the issue with any business that needs kind of network effects to scale is always, there's a book written about this called the cold start problem. It's always trying to solve what you would call the hard side of the network. For Wikipedia, it was contributors to Wikipedia. For Uber, it was drivers. For Facebook, it's like talkative people who want to share a lot and share their pictures and all of that. For Tinder, it's hot chicks, right? Like you always have a hard side and then you have an easy side. The easy side, or everybody wants to learn. And I think like people there, you have some companies out there that are making the bet that people don't want to learn and think anymore. I think that's a bad bet to make. I think it's just against human nature. It's sort of a revolt against the way that we're wired. We're wired to be curious and to want to know more and to want to understand. And even if AI takes over every single job in the world, like we're still going to go and have social conversations where we want to sound informed and we don't want to be the dummy. We don't want to not know what we're talking about. So people always constantly want to learn things. They want to have something that they can contribute to a conversation. They want to have a skill that they have, that they can enjoy something, a hobby or whatever it may be. And so learning is one of those things that, everybody wants to do it. It's pretty easy to find people if you have really quality courses.
Right.
What's hard is to find the creators that build quality courses. Now, when you empower them with AI, it becomes easier to actually produce the content. but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's always going to be the top quality. The flow is going to be right. The sections and the modules are going to be organized properly. And that's what, we're empowering you to be a lot more productive as a creator, but it's still your job as a creator to nail the flow and nail the content and all of those other things. So with all that said, I know this was a little bit of a tangent, but I think it's really important to kind of understand why we're approaching this from this kind of two-sided creator consumer standpoint. If you have the creators, the consumers will come and they will pay money to learn, and then we generate a lot of revenue and it drives value. And that's really what this is about building a platform that empowers the best creators to build the best possible courses so that the consumers show up and find something of value.
And, if there's any creators that are listening to this now or in the future that, we want to incentivize creators, and we want to incentivize creators that have great reach as well. Yeah, we think that that's real market, that we're like a lot of how our advertising and our marketing, which we have a lot of budget, not just obviously not the raise. We don't have any of those tokens. Everything's locked right now for at least 30 days. Right. But we have a lot of money we're putting into this aside, money that our company has, and we're spending a lot of money on marketing, and all the marketing. We really believe it's getting people that have followings to make great courses and share it with their people to take them. And that's really what we're looking for people out there with reach that want to be creators, that want to get paid to put together courses and really bring in their audience. That's really where we're looking to spend like a lot of budget.
What type of courses do you want to see on there? Is it just like whatever attracts people, or is there stuff that you're like, it'd be nice if like somebody did a course on this, or like give, because somebody in the audience might be like, oh shit, he said we want somebody who knows about this subject and to make a course, and they're like, I know about that subject, so they might go on and do it. So is there something in particular you'd like to see on there from,
I think, at first, again, like it's really, we want like, at first it's going to be relatively basic on where we're focused right now on the models or the language models. Right. And that's what we're going live with first, right? This full interaction with all. And we have, we work with Llama, Quinn, DeepSeek, right? They're really focused on the language models. After this initial user base that we have come on, the next thing we're layering on are the image and video models, right? On top of it. And we're really things are really gonna change quick. You'll
get a lot more rich content once you have that.
Yeah, you get a lot more rich content. And that's the thing. Like, I think that like what we're envisioning for the next 30 days, you're going to see this product live and us shipping updates basically every day.
Right. It'll be
constant. Be ready to really like market and really when we're really going to start spending the budget. Like we already hired our agencies. We also have ad agencies for TikTok and Instagram, and we're doing traditional ads with things like that to just try to get a positive cost per conversion on just like new user, like things like that as well. Like we have a substantial spend for that on that way as well. But we right now for the first couple weeks, we're going to get that user base on. Let the virtuals community start earning before everything really comes out. I think people that add value are going to be really happy.
What about people that have like existing courses that they've already made?
Right.
Yeah.
You can literally take those videos. Yeah. This is one of the beautiful things about Sage. You could take those videos and upload them as knowledge bases and then create a course around it on Sage around the videos that you already have. So there's a lot of things that you can do here if you're already an existing creator that will make you a lot more productive.
Or a combination of your prior knowledge base plus deep research.
Plus new knowledge plus other. So you asked about like what kind of courses. I know what kind of courses I want to see.
Right.
Like what I want to learn. But it really is not about kind of what I want to learn. It's more about like what do other people want to learn, and then what do the creators want to teach. And so there's like one of the beautiful things about humanity is that we're not all droids, right? We're not all mindless that follow the same thing. Like we each have our own interests. We have those interests can be very divergent. Some people love politics and economics and history. Other people love, they want to understand about, space exploration or quantum physics. Other people want to know more about technology. So there's just, creative writing. Wes mentioned earlier, accounting. Like if you're a founder, you probably want to understand like startup law and accounting and tax law and like HR regulations, like things like that, so that you can be the best founder you could possibly be. And AI is a really powerful tool to learn those things. And then, it just is one of those things that's like, I have the things that I know I would want to learn, but that's not real. Like we don't want to put biases into.
Yeah, that makes sense. What about
we're gonna have users very soon here that are going to start creating courses, and you're going to see some courses rise to the top. And
what about like a request feature? Like say I'm like, ooh, they don't have this. Can I like?
You just create it yourself.
You just do that yourself, right?
Yeah,
it's super easy.
That's
it's
crazy.
Super easy.
You are the creator and the student.
Yeah,
is the same dashboard.
So as you're going,
if you create and you make your courses public, right, then you
can start to earn. So if you create a course and you're like, holy crap, I actually learned this subject. Like this was a great course.
Right.
Other people probably want to learn this subject too.
Right.
Let's make this available to the public. Boom, you can start monetizing it. And there's, it's funny. There's an old adage that the best way to master something is to teach it.
Right.
And so like, this is almost like the precursor to that. So it's like, before you teach it, you first have to create all the content and the actual course that you're going to teach. And in going through that, you master it to then be able to teach it. And so
it makes sense.
That's kind of like, this is kind of my philosophy on a lot of things. Whenever I want to learn something, I try to get to the point of understanding it where I can explain it to somebody else who wants to learn the same thing.
Yeah.
And if you can't do that, then you don't really understand it yet. This helps you get to that point. But then once you're at that point, you have all of this content that you just produced.
Right.
And you can now monetize that and share it with other people.
Interesting. So if I'm a, person in the virtuals ecosystem or watching right now, how do I get started with this? Do I just go to the website and just like,
So you can sign up for our beta right now.
Okay.
You can fill it out. There's only a handful of people that we've actually given that to. It's mostly people that we trust from like a product UX perspective and things like that. And we're taking some initial feedback and finishing final iterations. But then, on Saturday at 9 p.m., we're going to release it to the public. So the general public can sign up, get an account, get their profile, and start building and taking courses.
That's awesome. So you guys said you're basically going to be shipping updates like almost daily once it's actually live. So you guys must have some stuff locked and loaded. What can people expect to see like over its evolution of the next month, 2 months? Like what do you guys have planned?
Some of that is going to come from the beta feedback.
Right.
We're actively gathering. So there'll be some general UX improvements and things like that. The V1 is going to be, as Wes has alluded to earlier, is very basic. It generates text content using LLMs, but it's very robust. One of the main features,
tests and things like
and it structures it very, very cleanly. It's really like the flow is really nice. There's gamification components to it, so it's a really nice experience. One of the first things that we really, really want to enable is the video and image content as well. I think that's really important. It makes the content more rich. Another thing that we want to enable that's on our roadmap is direct interactive experiences within not just a lesson or a module, but each section of that lesson. So, hey, here's a concept. I just taught you about it. You just read about it or you watched a video on it. Let's dive deeper into it. I didn't quite fully grasp it. I want to understand it better. Let's go into some analogies. Let's look at real world examples. And right there on the fly, being able to have that interactive experience. Do I understand this correctly? And being able to chat with the agent directly to make sure that you're actually truly grokking that information. And then once that's done, okay, now we're going to move on to the next section. And maybe you add that to the course, if you want to monetize it in the future, as an appendix. or as an
Right.
additional section in that module. Hey, I think that we need this added to the course. So there's a lot of interactivity features that we want to enable and add to the platform that aren't going to be there day one, but will come very shortly after.
Nice. Another question that I know a lot of people are wondering from the virtuals, and this is probably explained in the docs and stuff like that, but you guys know how it goes. What will the token like? How will the token accrue value? What's the plan for like the flywheel there? All that type of stuff. I'm sure some people, we're all bullish on it because of, obviously you guys have an insane background and product that you're releasing that actually can produce revenue and all sorts of other aspects. Tell us a little bit about the token. What's the plan? How are you going to integrate that and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, look, first we don't want to speculate on the token. Obviously, the token will be used primarily as the payment form on the site. So any service, any that's used can be used with payment at a discount. Obviously, we accept Web2 payment as well. Right. And we do think most of our users are going to come through Web2 payments.
Right.
We do think that's going to be the case. We think this is going to be a massive business, and we are considering doing a buyback and burn mechanism. Nice. I think that people are going to see what's coming. We have been public that we have a token launch coming for Formation. Right. And we've been planning this for a long time. We want to build Sage as a great business. There's going to be value passed back to the token. But we really don't want to speculate on that because, to be honest, the token that we're really aiming towards is the Formation token. And there's going to be a lot of tie-in to it,
there'll be tie-in to the Formation token from the Sage token. So
yeah, and we don't want to go much more than that. Just
from a legal perspective,
token, we don't want to there's a lot of functionality coming with the Formation token as well.
Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
And that's really where a lot of the utility is going to come, is the kind of the tie-in from one to the other.
Interesting.
And that's as much as we could really say.
Right. I get it.
There will be functionality. There will be, you can use it for discount paying, and there will be a buyback and burn, but we're trying to make Sage the best possible product to showcase what is coming down the pipes.
Do you guys have some numbers as far as how many creators you're expecting to get on, like within the first 6 months to a year? Like, what are your expectations? How are you going to attract them? Will you try to attract them beyond the crypto world? Yeah.
Like, I mean, look, the crypto world, and I love it.
Absolutely.
I love it.
I hope so.
But Wes loves it as well. We're in it. We're deep in it. It's a pretty small bubble.
Yeah, it is.
Like we like to think it's a lot bigger than it is because we're so in it. Right. But like I'll just give you like an example. I mean, we've been to a bunch of crypto conferences and like the biggest ones. I also go to NVIDIA GTC every year, and like NVIDIA GTC is like 20,000 people,
right?
And it's like a massive exhibit hall, and it's like
you go to the smartest people you've ever met.
All the smartest people you've ever met from all around the world, and it's just like it dwarfs the biggest crypto conference.
Right. Yeah.
In Miami every year they have like the Emerge summit, which is like a big tech summit. There are like 20,000 people that show up to that. And you go to Token 2049, which is probably the biggest, or one of the biggest, like 1,500 people.
Right.
It's just and look, we've got great people in crypto. Like I'm not knocking it, but to a certain degree, crypto is a religion's not the right word. Cult's not really the right word. Like it's almost
a circle, Yeah,
it's almost inherently it's a philosophy.
But it also is what's beautiful about it though is one thing that it really does well. It is an incentive mechanism.
Yeah.
And it is really hard, as I said before, it's really hard to get a company from 0 to 1, even with the great tech. You know what I mean? And I think that like we understand what type of incentive mechanism that crypto can be. And that's part of the beauty of
Right.
why me and Drew love crypto. We both be in it, like, and a lot of the views we kind of have in the world about what, fair decentralization should look like. And, we have deep beliefs in crypto. With that being said, yeah, a lot of the talent is going to have to come from outside of crypto.
I think that's one of the things that makes a lot of us bullish about the project, is that it does have that ability to reach outside of this bubble and kind of bring in the value that can, accrue back into the token. And,
Right.
From outside of just like the traditional buying and selling stuff,
Right.
that's the type of stuff I look for personally. I'm like, is this something that just applies to crypto people, or does this apply to actual people like outside of crypto? And if we can bring some of that value back into the actual token, I think that's extremely
and I think that's a really important point to bring up. And one of the things that, what Wes and I discuss a lot, like with regards, not even in regards to our business, though, that I'm sure that it's bled into some of the stuff that we're thinking about. It's like the airdrop mechanism of like a lot of new chains that came out and a lot of new protocols that came out and stuff. It literally has it exactly the opposite of what it should be. Like, you're subsidizing the people that should be paying you and consuming your product. And then when you stop subsidizing them, they go away.
Yeah.
And any business with a network effect, you subsidize the hard side. You subsidize the people that are going to make you money. They're going to bring your consumers to you.
Drew, I just thought of a great idea as you were speaking, something that we might have to run with, coin from this show. We might have to go with pay to teach.
Pay to teach.
Yeah. Pay to teach.
Yeah. That's a new buzzword. Yeah.
Like that. But I think that phrase really kind of sums it up, right? Like you're not, if you're paying your consumers to use your product, they're not your consumers.
Right.
Like they're not your customer. Like, you're paying them to use it. As soon as you stop paying them, they're going to stop using it. And so, if we could go back in time to like 2020 and just eliminate the kind of the airdrop era, and really focus on subsidizing developers, creators, the people that were actually bringing consumers to these platforms, I think crypto in general would be in a much better place, because you would have had a lot more talent that build really quality products. So we think about these types of things a lot. Like crypto is a very powerful incentive mechanism, but you have to incentivize the right people. You have to incentivize the right part of your customer base or of your user base. And if you're incentivizing the wrong part of it, then you're just going to end up being disappointed when they go away, when you stop subsidizing them. So, there will be like one of the beauty, like the example I always give is, imagine if Uber launched and instead of giving $1,200 bonuses, which they literally spent like something like $1 billion subsidizing drivers throughout the course of expanding into different cities and stuff. Instead of giving $1,200 bonuses to every driver, they just gave them, a few shares of stock, or they
gave the riders the money.
Well, that's what crypto's been doing. What crypto's been doing is giving the riders money instead of giving the drivers money, right?
We're not right. We're trying to give the
but we're trying to give the drivers money.
Drivers would be like, "What the fuck, man?"
Exactly. And so, like, you want to subsidize that part of the market, but you want to do it in a way that is cost effective, that's cash efficient, that you're not just burning through money and having to constantly raise more money and dilute yourselves. Uber had to issue stock to raise money to then subsidize the drivers. What if they just gave them some of their stock to begin with? And you know how much more loyal those drivers would have been to
Big
Uber?
time. Yeah.
They wouldn't have also been doubling for Lyft, and so like if you sit down and you think of the incentive mechanisms and how you want to allocate those incentive mechanisms, you can come up with really, really interesting ways to take your business to scale.
So and I think what he's trying to say, like, we think this is going to be way bigger than just crypto and Web3, but we really do think that the whole token mechanism, it's not just a capital raise, it's an attention. It's a way to get attention, a way to get your initial user, basically a way to incentivize, to create that flywheel to actually make the token more valuable. Because, you look at the companies that are really doing well, they have revenue. You look at Athena and Pendle and Hyperliquid. It's like, you actually have transactions and usage and things like that, right? And there's enough revenue being generated from enough users, which obviously the education can. That's really where I think the only companies that I personally invest in. I don't buy any like kind of garbage memes. I obviously invest in crypto, but we just we're super excited. I think we're kind of coming to the end of the hour, but just to close out, just like we're going live this Saturday at 9 p.m. We're really excited to have you guys aboard and kind of join. Bear with us. We are trying to do something big, so when you first get on, it might feel like we're not quite there yet, but
because we're not,
we're really trying to do something that's very complicated and very big. But
you'll see. I think you'll see the vision very, very quickly.
I'm sure.
You'll see the vision. The other thing that I want to say as we're closing, it's like I just want to kind of shout out to like the Virgin community, like the amount of support that we got, the amount of interest, the amount of people that are writing threads about us, the number of followers that we had basically no followers, maybe a couple 100 followers, a couple weeks ago, and just really people have piled into this. They see it, they get it. The Virtuals community has been absolutely fantastic. The Virtuals team has been absolutely fantastic.
Don't fade Virtuals by like I've been in Virtuals Eco a while as well. I get the whole Genesis and point system. Just to take is it cool if we can go a couple minutes extra, Nick?
Yeah.
All right. I get the whole like point system and like that, like now your virtual points don't earn anymore, but like this new token structure is going to attract some real builders.
Oh, it will.
I think actually some really interesting builders, because you could launch something at millions of dollars and keep supply. Like it's going to be, and I bet what they end up doing is like taking a little bit away from teams and giving a little bit more to airdrop. I think that whole airdrop side to staked virtuals is going to end up being like, I bet they end up messing with that.
Yeah. They're gonna. I know some of the direction that they're trying to go with this stuff,
and robotics also. Like
robotics,
we'd love in the future to kind of get into that as that gets. It's something we've spoken about in the past.
Teaching robotics,
not just teaching robotics. We have some really cool things that one day
we have a much bigger vision.
I believe it. You're one of those teams that
Drew is absolutely cracked. This guy is an absolute. So look, I'm a successful founder. I'm technical, but I'm so lucky to be working with Drew. He is. You guys should follow him if you don't on Twitter.
I know he is.
He is absolutely.
I feel the
Am I following you?
I feel the same way about Wes as an operator.
What's your Twitter?
Maybe I can get him.
What's your Twitter, Drew?
It's Cryptonomicon.
Is it Cryptonomicon?
But so I know we're like coming up on the hour.
No, you guys, we can go as long as we fucking want. There's no
I
hour limit.
Whenever I would do like spaces and stuff, I'd always tell people like if they could guess or if they could DM me and like explain what my Twitter handle means, that I'd like send them a free t-shirt or whatever. And like 2 people got it, which was shocking to me. So there's a very famous book by Neil Stephenson, who's the author of Snow Crash and other sort of sci-fi techno books. Read Me he's got a bunch of them.
Those are my favorite.
But there's one called Cryptonomicon, and now it's not spelled KHAN, it's CON. But it's a really great book. Like all Neil Stephenson books, like the first 80% of it is phenomenal. And like, it's like his editor told him, hey, you got to finish this book. And he just like threw together an ending, but it's a really good book. So like, that's sort of the origin of the name. And then my wife is Mongolian. So that's where the Khan part of it comes in. So
that makes sense. Yeah. Genghis Khan.
But I'm a big like sci-fi techno.
Me too, buddy. Michael Crichton's my favorite author.
Okay.
Nick also obviously,
you know how it goes.
You, brother, you've supported, and I think that like as we continue to roll things out, definitely happy to continue to roll things out, on some of your streams.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we'll keep doing them. We got 582. Would we have gotten 582 in a space? Fuck that, dude.
Try to get, we'll try every time we come on to hopefully release little alpha.
We'll do a bunch of them. It's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are just cool guys, and like I like chilling with you guys. You guys know your shit too, so I can like ask you good questions. And obviously, you both have been around for a long time in various aspects of crypto. So, these are the types of streams I like doing because I'm just like, cool dudes. We could just shoot the shit. I'm going to learn some shit. They're going to give us some good alpha. Everyone's going to have fun. So, yeah, we're going to do more of these.
Well,
you
by
guys,
the way, I think one thing that we didn't get into that maybe on the next stream we can get into is sort of the ACP cluster, and like Sage is going to be leading the educational cluster.
Nice.
And we know that like just from internal conversations, this is something that the virtuals, the reason like this kind of became an early match made in heaven was that like they were already kind of thinking of this educational concept.
Right.
So it was perfect. So we were already pretty far along in it, and it just kind of worked out really, really well. Like there's going to be a lot of opportunity there. We're going to be partnering with a lot of the other virtuals ecosystem.
Right.
We're going to be hosting courses that they're creating for their particular agent, for their documentation, for different ACP clusters. So there's going to be a lot of opportunity here, and I think eventually we're going to be able to roll this out into lots of different venues. It won't just be a web-based application. There'll be mobile apps. We're talking about potentially doing a mini app on Base. There's a lot of things that we kind of want to do to service this product and make it as big as it can possibly be. And so, just stay tuned. Like we're excited to come on here and share alpha when we can. Obviously, like if you've DM'd us in the last 72 hours and we haven't gotten back to you, like we're sorry. We will get around to it. It's been a little bit
busy.
And
launch the token,
Wes has mentioned a few times we have a team of 6 developers, but we work like we're 12. I mean, we grind, and everybody on our team is bought in and believes in this product and in the vision. So yeah, we love the support we've got, and just kind of reiterate that we look forward to a long and prosperous relationship with the virtuals community. And I think that it's a really, really great start to this product, and there's going to be a lot more that you hear from us.
Absolutely. I mean, I'll just say it, like we were all in the group chats, and everyone's like, Sage, man, like we're all, we're very bullish on you guys. We're here to support you guys. Yep. We love what you're doing. We all think it's an important part of the big picture. So anytime you guys want to do another space, give us some updates, let us know what's going on. I mean, I'm here for it. You just let me know. But yeah, just saying, like, from my perspective, being a DGen, everyone was psyched for this launch today. So congrats, you guys. Congrats. Yep. Any last words, anything you want to say before we call it?
Just follow us on Twitter. That's where like most of the announcements.
Turn your notifications on both Formation and Sage.
Yeah.
Yes. Formation and Sage. You got Formation on X. You got the Sage agent on X.
On X, it's at Form the Fog and at Sage to Learn.
Nice. All right, you guys, you heard them. So we got the co-founders of Formation here tonight. I appreciate all you guys for coming on. We just passed 600 viewers live. Usually when I check these in the morning, they've got over 1,000, if not 2,000. So I appreciate you guys. Thanks for coming on, Wes.
Thanks for having us, Nick.
Yeah, anytime, guys. Let's do it again. Maybe update us in a month. All right?
Take care, everybody.
Sounds good, guys. Later.
Later.